Be Innawoods. Totting some new mill syrup. Roughing it to see if purchase was not a bullet wound in my wallet. Not really knowing where I'm going, I'm an adventurous type. That tends to get me lost at times and panicky as fuck. This is one of those times. In the middle of nowhere, and it seemed to have been getting dark. Take out my GPS to figure out which way was west, the general direction of the way I came in. Began trying to make a straight line west. Getting real tired and hungry. Decide to set up a little spot to heat up an MRE for dinner. It was an alright meal, minus the fucking bread. Was getting worried though, it was getting dark fast and the forest was getting awfully quiet. Begin jogging my way along, a bad feeling swelling in my head. Begin running soon enough, like something was chasing me. My boot gets snagged on some foliage, tripping me up and over this small incline, right into some brush. Groaning in pain, geez, I felt like this was it, I probably have something broken and I was going to die there. All because I was a bitch. Then I see it. Slightly hunched figure, glowing eyes, lean as fuck. It was at the top of the incline, looking around. Making this panting noise, like a dog that needed to clear its throat. Frozen in fear, not knowing what the fuck this thing was. It was looking for me, I know this, but I guess I was hidden in the brush. Then I got an idea. I hated the bread from the MRE, so I didn't eat it. I still had it. I pray to mighty Yvonne for the saltine-enriched pseudo-tack to be my salvation. Throw it as far as I could from my position. Lands in some brush, rustling it, causing the creature to flee off. GTFO of there. It's dead night now as I leave the woods, hustling it back to the neighborhood. Sit down with some friends, one of them is playing a guitar, the tune helping me calm myself before telling my story. A friend hands me a bottle of Smirnoff with a smile. Such is life in the zone, he said.
Stray here. Be Innabush circa 2004. Myself and another mate hiking up a hill. Can't see more than 30 meters in front due to scrub. Not nervous at this point, pretty common here. Hike for 30 or so minutes, can't really remember this part. We get to a saddle between two peaks and decide to set up camp there. All goes well, brew up some tea and cook a few sausages. Long day, so we head to bed about 11-ish. Wake up next morning, it's fucking freezing, was really hot day before. Look around campsite, not where we set up the night before. Still waking up, think him dreaming a bit. Mate pipes up. Anon, mate, I don't think this is where we stopped yesterday arvo. Well, I'm not dreaming. We both pack up, a little weirded out. Decide to cap the rest of the hike and make our way out of the national park. Head to a river, stream. We could hear it from when we woke up. Arrive at bank and decide to cross because there is an animal track to follow on the other side. As we are crossing, packs above our heads. Really deep black liquid starts coming down river. Mate and I freaking out. No idea what it is. Wasn't oil, didn't smell like anything. We make it to the other bank pretty ricky tick and look back up the stream. Massive fuck off kangaroo lying on rock about 7 to 15 meters upstream with its guts and shit hanging out, black shit oozing from it. Mate and I book it down the animal track like a band of abos out of a liquor store. We are still completely lost, but keep following animal track. Power on for 30 to 45 minutes. Track is getting really faint at this point, nothing but scrub. We stop for a water break, packs off and shit. Sitting there for 2 minutes when we hear rustling in bushes behind us. Snap around to look back and get bum rushed by a pack of eastern grey kangaroos who jump straight past us, not landing a nick on us. When the shit fight calms down, all we could hear was a faint tapping of a drim, like a tribal sort of drum. Couldn't pinpoint direction of sound, decided to GTFO for good. Mate and I packs on and haul ass on this faint as fuck track. Eventually we run into a campsite with barbecues and porta shitters. Bunch of cadets doing some kind of field activity. Ranger is having a beer with some of the officers, higher up staff or whatever. "You two mates alright? You look like a fucking yowie jacked you or something." Explain to Ranger what we saw. He laughs it off and tells us to go home. We manage to get a ride from one of the cadet staff back to our car near the entrance of the park. Leave and swear never to come back. I did actually go back a few times to try and figure out what happened, or what we heard. Never saw, heard or experienced anything like it again. I inquired at the park's registration. They said one other group of campers had a similar experience and one of them was lost, body never found.
Changing names, etc. For safety. Be me, be young. Head in Innawoods for hunting. Hill country is familiar to me, not too spooky for me yet. LOL not for long. MP3. Have dad and friend I know well. Been hunting here many times. Everything normal. Start hunting bright and early. Finish pretty late. Heading back to camp for bed. Hear unusual sounds in brush. No big deal, I'm a man at 12 YRS. Also have Remington Field Master Pump .22. Friend at same age has break 12 GA. Totally operator even though never visited /K/. Stop, take knee, OODA. Silent. Dead silent. No birds, bugs, nothing. Pants fill with masonry. Side note, the coyotes come through that area all the time heading north. Wait 5 minutes in DEFCON 2. Must be nothing. Tactical back-to-back whispering. Decide it was the mule/coyotes. Stealth mode back to house. Alice good. GIF. Next day. Up early again, head out. We grab extra ammo in case need to operate arises. Nothing the whole day. Head back to house. No encounters or spooks. Must have been imagination.jpg. Time to let my guard down for even a second.png. Bed. We go to bed early BC we get up so early. Dad wakes me up around 11. Wants a burger. Weird, but okay. Wake up Brick, friend. We watch TV on guard till he returns. Jimmy's inexplicably rustled. Brick's Jimmy's rustled. We were just watching The Simpsons when we both froze and looked at each other. No way that was coincidence. DEFCON 1. Now SHTF. Mute TV. Hear something outside. Why now that dad is gone? Lock and load. Hear thumps and scratches on door. Enough masonry in our collective pants to rebuild the Colosseum. 12 times. At 3x scale replica. Nope.jpg. Stupidly decide to engage whatever it was. Tactically out of house. Blacker than the blackest black guy in the deepest cave on earth. Stand in front yard wondering what do. Maybe we should get flashlights. Tactically back into house. Tactically back out. Element of surprise totally gone as Brick trips on stairs coming out door and knocks both of us flat. Flashlights go flying. Operator enough to retain firearms though. Damn you uncoordinated. Immediately stop tirade as observe eyes. Glowing. From within. DEFCON 0. BRT. Eyes disappear. Must be okay now LOL. Dad returns from Burger Bell. Maybe from Kentucky Fried Tacos. Parks truck. We're still outside in DEFCON 0. Dad approaches. Sees us with guns surrounded by brass and flashlights 10 feet away. Dad hits DEFCON 2. Takes this stuff pretty seriously because stuff's happened before. Ex-CIA operator activated. Tactically to us. Sitrep. Explain. Grab lights and reload. All good now that dad.ishare.mp3. Go to where eyes were. Raccoon. Raccoon. Riddled with bullet holes. Dad sides exit known universe. Super embarrassed. Go to bed relieved. Next day head out again. Around 4 to 5 p.m. Jimmy's inexplicably rustled. Weird.gif. OODA activated. Dead silent Innawoods again. Something sup.jpg. I'm watching rear while Brick is spotting forward. Forgot to describe position, we're on the side of a hill/bluff spotting for my dad in a field a few hundred yards away, 200 to 300 foot drop in front of us, hill slopes down behind us, thickly wooded. As watching backseat movement. Indistinguishable through thick brush. Moving like a cat stalking something. Mountain lion maybe? Tactically alert Brick. Both watching rear now. CPIC related through trees. DEFCON 2938. Thing looks about 15 to 18 feet long, weird orange color. Like a tiger without the stripes, and is too skinny in the body. What hard? Nope nope nope. Is stalking/crouched watching us. Have seen enough cats hunting prey to know we're being hunted. MFW realize hunting tables were turned. On me. Ermagerd blurg die. Bring Rafu around to bear. Brick is half second behind me. Thing jumps at movement and jogs away. Onoyudent.gif. Mag dump as fast as can pump. Herd smacks. Critter continues to trot undisturbed. Feels worse than low 19 mm. Toll point 22 LR. Am assuming Brick's hashtag 7.5 shot had about the same affect. Tactically nope back to house. By that I mean we sprinted back to the house fast enough to set a new record. House is about 1 mile away. Still sprinting when house is reached. So tired.mp3. Tactically into house, full lockdown initiated. Hiding in bathtub with guns pointed at door. Tell dad when he gets back. He concludes it was either the nearby military base's escaped Delta SEAL recon top secret project, or another raccoon. He thinks it was a raccoon. MFW. Be me. Be same place. Many years from first story. No spooks since that last one with the cat thing. Paranoid regardless. Me, Brick and CP, Cannon Penis. By ourselves. First trip we convinced our parents that it was a good idea to let us go by ourselves. Have upgraded arsenal by this point. Between the three of us we have 300 Win Mag, several shotguns, a WASR 1063, AR, some 22s, and several assorted handguns. First trip by ourselves, nobody break anything. Within 5 minutes of being there CP tracks mud into house. Copious amounts of mud, the color and texture of diarrhea. Spent rest of night cleaning instead of operating. Before bed, we collectively take group bathroom breaks, no working toilets in house, one person goes while two stand guard. Having had several B&E and various other encounters in the past with the coyotes we are always armed. MFWCP trying to drop Duce while holding his scope .300 balanced off his knees. Scarred for life.png. Return to house to find door left open. Open nope backwards. We always close all doors when leaving. DEFCON 1. Stack up on door. SWAT kick it open and tactically into house. We hear wetback running down hallway just out of sight. Pest control, I'd like to report an infestation. Tactically clear house while listening to wetback struggle with window. No, we have plenty of time, nobody's opened those windows for years. Get drinks, eat lunch, watch TV. Still here wetback struggling with window for all he's worth. Smash tinkle dink shatter clink. Dammit. MP3. Tactically back to back bedroom. He got away. MFW. I realize there's now an angry wetback running loose in the woods. MFW. I realize he's probably called his cartel buddies to make us disappear. Lockdown activated. We secure the house by locking down the windows and doors. Stacked all movable furniture in front of the doors we wouldn't use. Set up Normandy tier defenses facing the front door, only one unbarricaded and one we found open. Wait some more. We started around 10 p.m, is now around 2 a.m. Bored, so bored. Hey CP. Was so quiet that the very act of speaking sounded like the sun just exploded, and startled CP. Nearly knowed the wall. Do you think they're coming back? No, let's go to bed. Everyone sleeps with handgun under pillow and long gun within reach. I suggested we take shifts, but no. Around 4 wake up to headlights coming through barricaded windows. DEFCON 1. CP and Brick are so dead asleep no amount of artillery could wake them. Grab 1063s and tactically to window. No cars, no people, just open field. What? Walk back into bedroom. Bash back to scene from Predator as I am suddenly greeted by mysterious red dots that congregate on my chest. Tactically scream like a little girl. Untactically wake Brick and CP and watch them fall out of bed spewing bricks from every office. Realize I forgot that we jury-rigged our spare lasers to a tripwire. MFW. Realize friendly fire is turned on, and the friendlies aren't happy. Return to bed. Sleep like the dead. Wake up next morning to sunshine, happiness, and pod roommates. Long explanation why I woke them up for no good reason. Excuse not valid, please check area code and try again. Go Innawoods to track wetback. Tracks lead to cold campfire ashes and various garbage and discarded clothing. Looks like they packed up in a hurry. I wonder why. La migra esta aquí con armas de fuego, Coro. At least in my dreams they were terrified by our 5-star Niscope 360 dynamic entry. Search around camp. Brick find tracks just off in the brush line. Look like bobcat tracks, but way too big. PTSD Vietnam style flashback to giant orange escaped bioweapon. Brick was suddenly covered in bricks, while CP was dealing with a severe case of rebar and concrete. Tactically nope and OODA. Back to back. Conclude that they were running from the thing, and we should be safe as it's been gone for a few hours. Continue to follow tracks like the morons that we are. They make a roundabout loop past our house. That explains the flashlight.jpg. We should have brought a wheelbarrow for all these bricks.gif. Follow tracks deeper into brush past house. Find blood. Our bloss tube. Is dried, few hours old, but it's blood. We now have a yellow brick road from the campfire to where we were at that time. It must have gotten one of the Mexicans. Tactically a long trail, DEFCON 0. Trail continues on and off till it reaches a nearby river, where it's apparent they started swimming due to the loads of junk they left on the riverbank. Tactically stare at junk trying to decide what to do. CP was supposed to be watching back, but no, I'm the paranoid one who's overreacting. We don't need to watch back. Rock narrowly misses Brick's head and lands in the river. Tactically 180. All is quiet. What is this, a joke? CP. Do you think this is funny? Why weren't you? Thunk. Severed deer head lands a few feet away and slowly rolls towards us. Go to DEFCON 01 repeat, go to DEFCON of. Sir. We're already there. At this point we have enough bricks, concrete, rebar, and assorted building supplies to build a 6-lane highway from Britland to Florida. We're going for a swim, boys. Tactically into river. Swim to nearby low water crossing. 0 Dark 30 Style Dynamic EXT. Tactically back to house. Gutted headless deer carcass is hanging from tree above driveway. CP muttering Hail Marys. Brick, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, one of you guys help me? Brick's torrent of bricks increases. Satan. You owe me one. Help already. 950 Tactical Noscope Blacktops clear house. All clear. Rhythm to look at deer carcass. T's gone. Only sign it was there was the puddle of blood. On the sidewalk leading to the gravel driveway written in chalk is 1 see you. 1 want to play. Nope, levels have reached critical mass. We're now back to back standing on an ever-rising pile of the highest density bricks on the face of the planet. Catch a glimpse of someone through the trees. Person is wearing Gandalf-style white tattered robes. Behind him is the bioweapon cat. Like my autistic MS Paint drawing with one of the trees being replaced with this guy. Sir, behind you. Dude is stock still, oblivious to bioweapon cat a few feet behind him. Brick and CP have locked on. Even with us screaming, he refuses to even twitch. Did our friendly neighborhood skinwalker make a new friend? Bioweapon cat walks around him heading for us. Nope nope nope. A quaint cat 250, grain soft .7.62 x 39 to the head. Whap. Head jerks, and it falls over. Brick and CP acquaint their respective rounds somewhere to its body. Bioweapon cat rolls from the force. Stands. Ergad tub levels dervnag. The remaining 29 rounds follow cat as it runs over hill. I'm sure at least 15 to 18 probably hit center mass. Unsure about Brick and CP, but I know they mag dumped. Reload. Wait, where'd that guy go? Is getting dark but decided to check for blood splatters. Tactically over to where it was. Find decent amount of blood and what appear to be chips of bone. Should we follow it? No, it's getting dark. But we should finish it off. Decide that our longevity will be increased if we return to the barricaded house. Return and clear. Nothing out of place. Stay up late jumping at every noise. Finally crash, once again with no guard posted because, there's no need to worry, we locked the door. MFW, I realize we are all going to die in our sleep because these lazy jerks don't want to keep watch. Wake up alive and well. We're all very surprised to have lived through the night. It's about 10 AM right now and the bedroom we're all crammed into was selected because we can cover all the doors via an indoor window, hallway, and through another large room. Awake and cooking breakfast. Me without pants in bedroom because I needed a pair with less bricks in it. Hear what sounds like gravel crunching on driveway. Hear Brick screaming something unintelligible from the kitchen. He doesn't have his sidearm because he doesn't care. LOL, now he's going to die because he didn't listen to me. Stop lolling when I hear the door open. Take back all the lulls when I realize I'm going to die without any pants on. Grab 1063s and prepare to die fighting. Mount bayonet and charge for Mother Russia. Nearly skewer Brick charging in the opposite direction like the cowardly pleb that he is. Battle charge to encounter 2 large fat rednecks in kitchen. Huh. Almost mag dumped and bayonet my cousins who decided to drop by unannounced. Almost mag dumped and bayonet them again in my anger that my battle rage had been awakened needlessly. To this day I can still remember the look on my cousins' faces when they realized that they were almost killed by a half-naked teenager. Screaming incoherently chase them out of the house. Jump in their truck and race away. They were probably going 70 to 80 on a little dirt road meant for 30, tops. Come to my senses, return to the house and lecture Brick on always carrying a firearm. That pleb takes off his tactical gear and camo and puts on blue jeans and a purple t-shirt. My brush with death made me realize I wanted to be wearing nice clothes at my funeral. I literally have no response for this. CP comes out of the bathroom in boxers with a toothbrush in hand. Did I hear yelling or something? Sounded like someone was yelling something about the glory of Russia? Poker face. Finally tired of being psychologically raped by a giant space cat, the local skinwalkers, and Brick's refusal to put his camo back on and carry a firearm, I insist we call it a day and head back home. We pack up and leave. No sign of cat or skinwalkers for many years. 1 month ago, we were there again. Saw something big and indistinct moving through the trees. It's back. Why can't it come back when we have more pairs of pants and I can convince Brick to carry a gun and wear camo?
Okay, I think I remember everything now. Took me a while, sorry about that. So, this is the story of how I taught a skinwalker how to dance, and why I regret it. Something to note, at the time, I was dating a guy named Sam. I'll try not to use names, but it's important that his name be mentioned for reasons that'll be made clear later. Sam was on the football team, and they'd just had a fairly good run. The teams in the area, South Dakota, mostly? I think there may have been someone from North Dakota. I don't know, it's been a while, had pooled their resources and decided there should be a big inter-school campout at this little hostel/campground thing in the woods somewhere in the Black Hills. Why? Who knows, something about gracious professionalism or something. The football players and cheerleaders were all given spots, but here and there a few couldn't make it, so they gave their spots to other people. There was sorta a flock that hung around Sam and I, mostly nerdly types, and since A was dating one of the cheerleaders, the two of them convinced the girls that weren't going to give some spots to the rest of our little gang. Sam was for it, because we figured we could go out into the woods and have some private time, away from his parents/his brothers/my parents. We all get into buses, drive out there. They'd reserved most of the space, so apart from a few old people and a family it was mostly us. Lots of people though, because 3-4 schools worth of footballers, cheerleaders, and hangers-on. And some chaperone parents. It was kinda chilly, since we were headed towards November at this point. Anyway, with the cold, most people gathered around a few big bonfires where they'd set up a sound system and were blaring pop/dance type music. I think the parents and old people were kinda pissed, but none of us cared. So it's still fairly light out. We left at 9-ish? 10-ish? I wanna say 10-ish. Oh, and there were 4 schools. A friend who was there finally got back to me on Facebook, so there's dancing and lunch and stuff in full swing. Sam gives me this look from across the field. Fuck yeah, it's on. He slips off behind one of the cabins into the woods. I finish my hot dog and then do the same. 5-10 minutes of walking and I see him sitting on a rock looking guilty, but excited. We look to make sure we weren't followed, then start running/climbing/scrabbling up the mountain. We had to have gone half a mile before we even looked back. We could barely see anything down there, the trees were thick. So we climbed a bit more. There was this rocky section that went up a bit over the tree line, and we could look down and see all the people partying. Could they see us? Maybe, but they probably couldn't tell who we were. We look down a bit then climb a little further. The mountain was leveling out a bit here, with a valley off on the other side. I reckon we were far enough away from people, so I grab Sam and pull him up against a tree. He looks kinda surprised and gets all wary. Dude, we were like a parsec away from everything. Come on. He's skittish, says he feels like we were being watched. I tell him he's paranoid. And, because I know he hates musicals, I start singing Christine, What Are You Afraid Of? Let's not argue, please pretend, you will understand in time. He kisses me to shut me up. Things happen. This is going somewhere, I promise, sorry, I'm wordy. 133789113. After that we sit up on the mountain, watching the party bellow. At this point the sun's started heading down, and it'll fall over the taller hills on the other side of the campground before too long. I lean against his chest and wish it would never end. We start heading back before people notice we've gone. We're about halfway down the mountain, still holding hands, me wishing I hadn't left my boxers up the mountain and hoping I did in fact pack some more, when he stops suddenly. Looking across the forest, there's something moving. It's hard to tell what, but it looks kinda big. Does T move like a human? Too heavy for that. It moves off, and we take another route back. Figure it was a bear? Or a mountain lion? Maybe. Figure we should tell someone? Yeah. I'll tell the people in charge of the campsite, ask if this is bear country. Jokes about bears and country puns happen. I walk back into the general area of the campsite while Sam is off talking to the camp managers. It's dusky now, the sun kissing the hills across the way. People are dancing and drinking Coke/Sprite/Pepsi from plastic cups that definitely weren't spiked with anything. No siree, law-abiding citizens only here, Herm. So I'm dancing around, trying to get M to dance with J, this chick he likes, but he's being a pussy and she'd probably have said no anyway because M was an awkward fuck. So I'm walking through the field and see this girl sitting all on her own. I don't recognize her, figure she's from one of the other schools. She looks kinda sad, kinda small. I walk up to her and tell her come on, there's a party happening. Sadness is for old people. Dance with me. She looks up, head tilted a bit to the right. Some dialogue happens here, I don't remember the exact words but I'll put down the gist. I give her my cheesiest of cheesy grins, which I regret later, and hold out a hand. Come on, I say again. She looks at the hand, then slowly reaches for it. I pull her up and into the general milieu. She sorta mutters I don't. And I tell her it's easy. Just wave your arms and your ass like no one's watching. I proceed to do just that. She gives me this awkward looking smile, and I think to myself, ah, that smile is probably why you were sitting alone, and sorta does the same. While I'm making it look good, or at least, trying, she's sorta making it look awkward. But, whateffs. She sorta does what I do. I shake my ass, she shakes her ass. I bop my shoulders, she bops her shoulders. Etc. Eventually I get bored of doing spastic dances and get in close. Here, do you know how to do a foxtrot? 'Cause I don't. I sorta don't. Sam tried to teach me a few times but my feet are fail. But I know the basic step. She lets me grab her hand and waist, and I put her hand on my shoulder, and we sorta foxtrot around the field. She does the awkward smile again, but she's sorta getting into it. I start to regret getting into this though, she smells weird. Reason number 2, she was sitting alone, I think. Not wanting to get all the way through the song, and seeing Sam across the field, I shout Sam. He comes over. What did they say? It's not bear country. But they're gonna get some wildlife people to check into it. Cool. It's cool that you saw what might have been a bear, but probably wasn't, way off in the far distance earlier. This last bit was for the girl's benefit. She seemed like the type to freak out if there were really bears. Who's your friend Anon? This is, Actually, what is your name? She looks at me, then, giving that awkward grin again, says Sam. Hi. Coincidence. Sam, meet Sam, Sam meet Sam. Sam, you teach Sam how to do a foxtrot, I'm gonna go have some more, Sprite. I wander off. Sam glowering at me for leaving me with her. I shrug at him and give him a look that implies he should punish me later. He extracts himself after a song or two and we hang out with the rest of the people we know for a while. I don't see girl Sam for a while, figure she's gone off with friends. Whateffs. Night comes, we head into the cabins. The music is stopped and people are being herded towards the hostel/cabins, they were like little shitty drywall cabins all connected by a longer hallway. There were 6 of them, and we took up 4 or 5 of them. There's a lounge/lobby area with a breakfast bar, pool tables, heads on the walls, and then lots of 4-person rooms off down the hallways, by the chaperone types, who then go off to their cabin for some big meeting-y thing. I found out later that they'd gotten wind of the behavior and were deciding if they should do anything about it. Someone brought vidya, so we vidya a bit. I try to play cards and fail miserably at poker. Hey, who's that out the window? A few of us look out the window. It's girl. Sam. She's standing there on the path, on her own. She's not wearing shoes, I notice. Her head's tilted to the side again, like a bird. I get to the window, see who it is, wave. I'm trying to decide if I should let her in. I'm not sure if that'd be breaking any rules, but also I'm kinda tired and don't wanna babysit some chick. Also that would put a crimp in the sneaking away to the rooms plan that I have. She is not the Sam this includes. So I wave. She stands there, then raises her arms. She shakes and shudders like she's having a seizure, and a few people ask if she's okay. She has that weird, overly large grin on her face that looks more like a grimace. Way too many teeth. She stops for a second, and says, in this weird, raspy voice, "Come on." She starts dancing again, and it was dancing. I recognize those hip movements. Sam gives me a look, he recognizes it too. I say, "Sorry, girls aren't allowed in here with us." Blatant lies, there were at least 2 there. She says something else. I didn't realize until I was reading this thread how not okay what she said next was. "What are you afraid of? Maybe I'll see you tomorrow." I shut the window and the drapes. I'm kind of freaked out. By the time the scream happened, she was gone. The scream, this happened 10, maybe 15 minutes later. I'm back to Vidya and wishing we were betting on this, because dear gods, do I clean up good in melee when I'm using Young Link. Fuck you and your arm cannon, Samus. Suddenly, there's this noise. I didn't have a reference for it at the time, but if you've seen Game of Thrones, think of the shouting that Mama Stark was doing at the end of the Red Wedding, but with more animalness in it. A little higher pitched, a little more guttural. There were 2 of them, one after the other. We all looked out our windows. I didn't really connect it to girl Sam, and I suppose they might not have been related. But it did come from the same part of the woods that was facing the window from earlier. We were a bit rattled, and 1 or 2 people started talking about what it might have been. There was no real consensus, but I was sorta glad that A had brought a hunting knife with him in his backpack, even though it broke roughly all of the rules ever. A few people went to their rooms so they could enjoy the locked doors quality, and those of us still up near the rather large, easily broken windows started swapping hunting stories, which turned into sports stories. Which turned into /K/style trivia, which I started tuning out and watching the TV in the other room. I wished Sam would go with me to his room, but there wasn't really an inconspicuous way of slipping off. About half an hour later we heard sirens. A bunch of us rushed out to see what was happening. The chaperones were holding us back, telling us not to get too close. A sheriff's car had pulled up, and it sat there flashing for about 10 minutes while the sheriff talked to some park ranger-looking guys with hunting rifles. Couldn't hear much. Eventually a park ranger guy went to talk to one of the coaches, who spread the word that we should all go back inside for the night. "What's wrong, Mr. D?" "Nothing, Anon, just go inside." Once we were inside, Sam, 2 other guys we were rooming with, and I all started heading towards our room. There were a lot of people swarming around. And then I see girl Sam down the hallway. She seemed like she was limping a bit, but hadn't seen me yet. I got to my room before she did and stayed there. When people asked me why I was jumpy, I explained that some weird stalker chick was out there. Sam puffed his chest back and leaned against the bed. "Anon. Love me." He sat on the bed and started being all touchy-feely, and I fought him off a little less hard than I would have it were anyone else. "Anon. Love me forever. I have watched you for so long." We were laughing and someone called Sam a fag and got punched on the arm, and the mood was fine all night. We went to bed. I didn't see girl Sam the next day, or Sunday when it was time to head back. I tried to look for her because I felt kinda bad for dodging her / being an ass to her at the window, but didn't find her. I probably could have tried harder. I'm not sure what made the park ranger guys go all wiggy. They were gone the next day, and the chaperones weren't telling us jack. That's about it, I'm afraid. I'm sorry there's no big climax or no broken lights shapeshifter hijinks. Maybe they got a meal of a park ranger in the woods, or maybe they weren't hunting, or maybe there was nothing going on at all. Maybe smelly. Sam went home with a bit of a crush and got over it by Christmas break. Or, maybe Skinwalker. Sam went back home. Maybe she's still out in those woods on that mountain, singing phantom songs and hoping someone will dance with her.
My favorite ones are Skinwalkers / Goat Mean Woman / Wendigos. Couple years ago hunting out in U.S. Canada border. Be me 4 Marines and 2 girls altogether 7. It's snowing a little bit so we decide to go back in the cabin. In the middle of nowhere and the temperature is dropping. Put on the fire and everyone just huddles together and play random board games and cook up some fresh deer. Go outside to outhouse and take a shit. Get done and then the smell I've read about from /x/. That blood copper rust smell. Oh fuck. Pull out rifle and it's fucking pitch black except for the cabin and it's quiet. Cabin a couple yards away and the smell is getting stronger. Fucking terrified beyond my mind and then it hits me. Not too far out here a broken woman like voice scream out. Help. Nope. Friends come out and ask what the hell. Wait, what is that smell? 2 people actually throw up and I'm just telling everyone to get back in and close all the windows and block it all off and wait till sunrise. Anon, what's wrong? Someone's out there. No, trust me, it's not a person. We're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody could be this far out. It's not fucking possible and it's almost below freezing outside. Confused and shocked I explain what it is and all everyone does is laugh. The smell is getting worse and worse. One of the girls passes out and one of my Marine buds goes out there. Okay, what the fuck is that smell? What's out there? I don't believe in no fucking Goatman or Wendigo. I'm a fucking devil dog. He goes out there and next thing I know he screams at the top of his lungs and fires off 3 shots and followed by what sounded like a fox scream, but it sounded like a person too. He runs back in and his face is fucking pale and he pissed himself. Tommy, what's wrong? What did you see? He's just balled up now calling for his mom. Nope, 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 nope. We all just huddle up close all the windows and just sit there in the pitch black room. For the next couple hours all we hear is screams and hyena-like laughter and what sounds like someone running around in circles out there. Nobody can sleep, everyone just has their eyes on the front door. Girl is still passed out and Tommy is still petrified. Other girl is crying and begging to go home and practically pisses herself. Finally about 4 a.m. it stops snowing and the screaming and hollering and laughing stops. Smell is gone. Is it safe? I think it is. It's gone. I'm not moving till the sun comes up or out. Yeah, same here. Me too. Fine, I'll go outside and look. Still pitch black but I use my flashlight to look around. See some reddish blood on the floor going in an eastern direction. Can hear some birds chirping, so that's a good sign. As I'm walking back to the cabin to give the all clear, it goes quiet again. Fuck. Way in the distance hear someone say, hello. Nope, nope, nope. Can hear brush being broke coming in my direction. Cocksucker E3006. Unload my mag on that direction and it goes quiet. Oh my hairs just stand up and body goes cold. Anon, get inside. We can hear groaning in the distance. It stays like that until the sun comes out and the clouds cleared. Which was 11 a.m. when the sun came out and the clouds were gone. Tommy finally snaps out of it and the girl wakes up. Completely scared out of our mind, we just weapons free the entire walk back. We try to ask Tommy what he saw and he just says, And I thought an Iraqi screaming running towards me with a bomb was scary. We get to the halfway point where you start to see campers and hikers where people become a regular occurrence to see, which took about 3 hours worth of hiking. Some people just stare at us like we seen a ghost or something. As we're walking I can faintly smell the copper smell again. No fucking way it would come out this far. Look around and scan my surroundings to see where it is, see anything out the ordinary. Some people take notice to the faint smell but assume it's a rotten dead animal or fungus. Friends can smell it too and they just run out of their back to the cars. I'm just standing there looking around, where the fuck is it? I use my scope and just scan the entire hillside. Notice a little lowly type girl walking on a cliffside. And she's just skipping around. I watch her for a couple seconds and she just stops and turns to me and stares right at me. Just staring and looking at me. Can almost taste the smell now. Some people ask what I'm aiming at. Nothing, thought it was a bear. Take one last look and she just stares and walks back into the direction me and my friends came from. Pick somewhat related, it looked like her. Went back to that cabin a couple times again after that. Nothing happened. Tried to hunt it and it never came back. Would go on /x/ and apparently it travels around the world, or there's more than one that constantly wanders. Planning on going back again this year with a GoPro to see if we can catch it. That night I will never forget, those screams are far too difficult to forget. To this day Tommy still hasn't told us what he saw, he hates talking about it. He barely talks to any of us anymore.